Hey guys, it's Tyler with Flow Grow Hydroponics. We got something awesome today. We've got a recirculating deep water culture system. Now, this system is unique in the way that your most your deep water culture systems that are recirculating have a water pump that recirculates the water. And the benefit of a recirculating deep water culture system is that you just have one bucket or one source that you adjust your pH and your nutrients, and then it circulates to the rest of the buckets so that your pH and your ECs and your nutrients, all that stuff is adjusted in one spot. That way you don't have to go bucket by bucket or location by location that the plants are being grown and adjust it. So, with that said, this is an even more unique system because it's actually a combination of deep water culture and aeroponics because it's top fed water. Um, it's also unique because the oxygen pump itself is actually what pressurizes and moves the water as well as oxygenates the water and um, does the drip system from over top of the roots. So it's a pretty complex system. Basically, what I want to do is I might do a little time lapse of me putting it together. I'm not going to go through step by step while I'm putting it together because I've got to figure some things out while I do it. So I'm going to put it together. I have a few shots, so you guys can see it, but then we'll go through everything once it's done. So I just want to show you this before I get the system put together, because once I seal this up, I can't show you. So basically this is a float valve. Once it gets down, this bucket here sits on top. So it's like basically a two-part bucket, right? You see that little valve sticking out the front of both of those buckets. So this bucket here is just a reservoir tank with your nutrients and your pH balanced water. And it's going to be connected, sitting on top and connected to this, which has a float valve in it. So when this goes down, the water from this bucket over here will let into this bucket. Then there's an oxygen pump that's connected to this line here, and that's what applies pressurized water to this whole section, which then feeds out to all the rest of the buckets. They're all connected either on the front or back side. And then these buckets in the back are looped back together so that it all feeds back to here. So the only reservoir that you have to adjust is the one on top. And then this float valve is going to control the rest of everything when it goes up and down. That's why I say this is such a unique system. On top of that, you'll see in a minute when I have it set up, it has these little watering halos that water from the top of each bucket, which allows the roots to be exposed to oxygen because they're getting water from the top. That's why I say it's like a hybrid between a deep water culture, recirculating deep water culture system, and an aeroponic system, because it kind of utilizes both. And then these buckets are all connected, even the back, all the way around to the other side. So they're all connected to one another. That's how you can mix one over there, and eventually you'll slowly get the same mixture across all of them. The cool part is is these little halos. See how it's constantly dripping around this halo? So basically, let me see if I can pull this up one-handed. Basically, this little piece, come on. So basically, this little piece, I don't know if you can see down inside there, the air line is connected there on your right, and then the water is on your left there. So the air line pushes down into the water and forces the water up that center line into the halo ring. And that is just the coolest thing I've ever seen. I love the principle of this. I love the functionality of this. I love that it, all kind of works together and recirculates, so you don't have to go around bucket by bucket. And then you just get this little, and as you can see, you just get this little drip irrigation going over your plants all the time. And here's the air pump over here. It's got a splice in because it's an 8 spout, whatever you want to call it, 8 pieces. So this one goes to the pressurized line on the main feeder bucket, and then your other ones go to your individual buckets. But we'll get the trellis set up. We'll get the tomato plants in there, which should have been planted forever ago. And we're going to test this system out. And if there's something that needs to be adjusted, we're going to adjust it, and we're going to get with the manufacturer, and we're going to perfect this system, and then we're going to release it. But right now, I am loving this system. It comes in I believe it comes in a 4, 6, and an 8. I started with the 6. I might go ahead and extend to the 8, or I might just get a whole nother 8 system set up and grow something else other than tomatoes, maybe peppers or something. But as of right now, I'm loving this system. I think it's great. So let's we'll get the trellis set up, we'll get the plants in there, but this is awesome. So here's the full system setup with the built-in trellis. I did not glue the top part so that if I ever want to buy more PVC and extend this and use it on another project, or extend to more buckets, because this does come in an 8 bucket system and could be a 10 or 12 or how many ever you wanted. But the system did come later than I expected, so the tomato plants were very far along when I got them planted. Some of them bent and pinched, which meant I had to top them. Others, like that one over there, did not. This one here was much smaller. So we're going to see how they do. I have high hopes with this system and the way that it functions, which you guys have already seen. And we have these 2 buckets over here left over. So yeah, those are 8 super sweet 100s, which produce an abundant amount of cherry tomatoes. And then I think these 2 we're going to do sun sugars, which is an orange cherry tomato. They're also a hybrid that produces a large amount, and will keep the nutrients and the pH and everything the same, and just see how everything performs. I can tell just by looking at everything that it's setting some new roots. The plants are going through a little bit of shock just from not being in a system for so long, and then all of a sudden being put in the system with much higher nutrient levels. But I'm sure they'll come around just like our strawberry plants finally have. I still haven't put the oxygen in this. That'll be the next video, but I mean, we're already setting fruit and flowers. everywhere. So this system's doing really good. I do want to get the oxygen to the roots because all of these have set on a ton of new root growth. So that'll be the next thing that we do.